10 years ago, Mark Pollock, a student and an international rower, suddenly lost his sight and had to deal with the challenge of blindness. Well, later this year, he will face another challenge, travelling more than 480 miles across some of the most inhospitable terrain on Earth as he tries to get to the South Pole. Mark and two others are one of 10 teams racing to get there first. And Mark is here now. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
What on earth possesses you?
Well, that's the question. You mentioned 10 years ago I went blind and I thought I wouldn't work or study or play sport or even read my watch or leave my house. Now, 10 years on, I still can't see, but it's not about blindness anymore. It's about races and challenges and trying to get to the South Pole. It's a new challenge.
Yeah, I mean, you've done some other interesting things in the run-up to this, haven't you?
Well, I've done a few. I've gone hot, cold,
I was going to say, the Gobi
high,
Desert,
low.
I noticed, is one of the places
Yes,
you've been.
6 marathons in a week in the Gobi Desert, then I did a marathon at the North Pole, marathon from Everest Base Camp, Dead Sea Ultra Marathon, all sorts of different things. But this South Pole race, this is completely different. It's 1,000 kilometres, pulling sledges, up to 16 hours a day. Different story.
But as you say, this is different. This is a much bigger challenge than almost everything else you've done before.
Yeah, well, it's the first race to the South Pole since Scott and Admundsen, and it's in those days they didn't even know where they were going. No. We know where we're going, but it's I suppose a little bit of our own polar history, and I don't know if we'll get there. I don't know where we'll finish in the race, but that's what we're going to try and find out. Well,
I should tell you, and indeed people watching, that we're seeing some pictures of you actually doing a little bit of training in some snowy conditions as we chat. There are several teams involved, aren't there? Ben Fogle, James Cracknell are among those trying to do this as well.
Yeah, James and Ben are searching for their third team member at the minute, so it'll be James, Ben and someone else. There are Norwegian teams, there are female teams, mixed teams, and there's myself. I'm the only blind person going, and I've got two good guys to lead me down there.
Right. Now, the South Pole is a pretty tough place if you can see it. What sort of problems do you think you're going to encounter uniquely because you're blind?
Yeah, well, I suppose on the sporting side, there's this terrain called sastrugi. It's like if you imagine a rough ocean frozen in time, waves of snow, and I think if you can see that, you can see what's coming to you. You can see where you're going to trip. In my case, I won't be seeing where I'm going. I won't see where the waves are, and I expect to spend a lot of time face down in the snow. But that'll be relying on my teammates. That's the real blind issue. But if it's smooth snow, I'll be trying to race alongside and ahead of some of the other teams.
And have you thought about how it will feel if you win?
Not at this stage. Our big challenge is to get there safely, and then to see where we finish. And of course, to do any of these projects, the business side of it, the funding, that's one of the big issues at the moment. We're pursuing all avenues to get the funding and sponsors on board.
Well, listen, good luck. We look forward to following your progress.
Well, thanks very much.
Thanks very much indeed for coming in. Thank you.